Today we're going to talk about primary and secondary goals in the Google Ads structure. Specifically, where should you be when you're developing these? Well, you should have already developed the purchase conversions, the add to cart conversions, and on top of that with a KPI with either submit lead form or especially with purchase, you've already test fired the GTM, right? And both the GA4 debug tool to make sure that the purchase conversions for, first of all, firing, second of all, that it's passing back the user ID and conversion value in the form of the product price within the data variable of the site, right? So in GA4 or GTM, when you're looking at the preview link, that it should be passing that back, and you can see that, right? Then, of course, going back to GA4 and making sure that, you know, that line graph that it says add to carts firing, initiate checkouts firing, all these things are firing, boom, boom, boom. And same thing with preview link. It's very important that you do both. It really is. So we're going to talk about a little bit more of that. I have a feeling I have some examples. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. So here is the goals section. So as you can see here, you have, if you click here, you have everything. This is for a brand new account. I just landed this account like 24 hours ago, really, or 48 hours ago. And as you can see here, look at this. How can everything be important? How can something be important when everything's important, right? So here you have primary conversions at the top. You have primary conversions for add to cart, primary conversions for begin checkout, primary conversions for phone call lead, and primary conversions for download. No, that's not how you do it. There can only be one single important thing, and that's purchases, right? However, we're very lucky because with this campaign, they have 12 purchases. So this is a warm campaign. What does that mean? That means you don't have to warm it up by using add to cart, initiate checkout. And I'm going to actually talk about that at the end. Because if you're doing purchases and you're not getting fires at all, it probably means that you didn't check like I asked you to, and that there's some kind of flow issue, conversion flow, where it's not, the conversion flow somehow has a stopgap that's getting interrupted. And we're going to talk about that. The next thing that's giving this away is if you look here, right here, okay, you have 12 purchase fires, but then you have no add to cart fires. You have no begin checkout fires. You have none of these are firing. So how can that happen? How can you have a purchase fire with no add to cart firing? So that's already odd. So yeah, that means that's work for me. And obviously it needs attention. Yeah, so it looks something's wrong here. Okay, so what you do is, first of all, you have to QA all this stuff and then reassign it. Like I said, what I would do here is probably because it's warmed up, or just stick primary, keep all of these secondary, and I would definitely keep them secondary, because what you'll need is you'll need to it'll actually help. It doesn't take into account necessarily, but it does give a little bit of insight to the account, right? And I'm talking about from an algorithmic point of view. Not to mention GA4. So that's the next question: is GA4 firing? It better be firing add to carts. If not, we got a problem. So what happens? So what do you do here? So you go to purchase. So you've already created this. You go to purchase. You go in there, and you're assigning it the primary action. So you change it there, and then you have the value. The value is basically you have 2 or 3 options. You have the option where you say this conversion fire equals $1 or whatever, $50 or whatever you want to be, $100, $1,000, or this conversion fire gives you a dynamic code that you drop within the actual site, within that particular line item, within the code of the site. Do not do this yourself. Give it to the web developer, who will then drop it in and assign it correctly for that particular purchase. So that's their job. Don't do it yourself. Unless you speak web dev, don't go anywhere near it. That's their job. The next thing is, here, and that's where you count every conversion or not. The next thing is the click-through versus engage view. This is interesting. So click-through is a very definite interest, right? And when somebody clicks and they go to a site, they're engaged. And that means they're like, hey, I'm interested in this product. I want to click through. I want to find more. Then you have engage view, and then you have view through. Engage view and view through conversions are, they're a little misleading. I really find it rare that somebody views something and then converts, right? Like if you see a Carl's Jr. burger and you see it and then you say you buy it on your app or whatnot, that I guess as a super user like me loves Carl's Jr. Yeah, that makes sense. But it's actually not truly a fluid conversion, right? Because those are conversions that would happen anyways. So for me, it's retargeting, right? I'm already the Carl's Jr. person, but say like if it's something like an e-bike, right? Who buys an e-bike off of view? Right? That doesn't make any sense. How would they get to the site? How would they, you start going down the rabbit hole and it doesn't make sense. So that's why click through conversions are very important. Why am I bringing this up? Well, I'm bringing this up because when you look at PMax, PMax is notorious for this. They do a lot of view through conversions, a lot of engage view conversions. Engage view is when you view 10 seconds on YouTube, and then you view, and then you're kind of marked as an engaged viewer. Or you view 5 seconds on YouTube Shorts and then you buy. So then at that point you're flagged as an engaged viewer, and then if you purchase, like then that view through gets that conversion, not the click through because you didn't click. Well, who buys something like that off of a view, right? Think about it. So when you get a lot of view through conversions, those are conversions that would probably already happen. They probably clicked on Facebook or Meta or whatever, Instagram or X or whatever, and they somehow seen your ad and are like, yeah, that's a good reminder, and that's nice. But it's that initial first click has already happened somewhere else, most likely. And like I said, PMax is notorious for that. So just when you get a lot of view through conversions on PMax, take a look. See if you can identify in GA4 what the first click conversion is. Because if it's a view through conversion off Google, like I said, that first click happens somewhere else. So your job as a buyer is to see where in the conversion process did they enter the smart funnel, right? And the chances are it probably is not Google. It probably won't be. It'll probably be something else. So it's very interesting they haven't engaged you, like I said, what that qualification is. But at the end of the day, it's still view. And then, of course, you do last click, first click. Or actually, no, first click's not available. It's actually data. It's a data variable one, and then the last click, I believe. And those are the ones you could choose, at least within Google Ads. Also, you can do, this is where you turn on your enhanced conversions. Again, folks, I hate to beat this drum. Make sure, again, test your conversions, GA4, debug tool, GTM, preview tool, and then you click here. It's shocking how many people click on this and they think this works. No, you got to make sure that the data layers, the data layers is passing that back that information, and it's going fluid between the platform and the site. So do not, this is just clicking this does not help anybody. You got to make sure it's working, then you click on it. Yeah. And you do that with, like I said, a free promo code. Check it out. Blah, blah, blah. I'll get off my horse on that. Here, this is kind of interesting. This is the attribution tool within the goals section. This is very cool. I think this is only less than a year old. I'm a big fan of this because what you can do here is, because I usually go in GA4 to check this out, but it's interesting. It's very cool. It's within Google Ads. So here you can actually see, like, well, with this particular client, it's less than a day to convert. And if you look here, they have 20 conversions. It actually goes down even lower, but let's just say figuratively here, they have 20 conversions. 18 of them happen within the first day or within 24 hours. That means 2 out of the 20. That's 18 out of the 20. That's almost a 90% of their conversions were within less than a day. That's really kick ass. That's cool. So then it goes back to this. This is 30 days. So should you change it? I don't know. I mean, if it's already working fine, I think it's okay. This particular product is they have several products between $70 and I think $200. So I think it's fine. I'd like to probably shorten it to maybe 20, 15 days, but I think it's fine where it's at right now. But even like $200, that's, I mean, that takes a couple days to figure out, right? I mean, who throws down, unless you really know you want something for 150, $200, you're probably going to think about it just for hair. Maybe at least a day, a couple days. So that's very interesting. So this also shows probably a lot of intent too, right? That means they came there with a purpose. Um, Very interesting. And then it's one to two conversions. 1.1 is 1 to 2. Let's see here. And then one thing I want to talk about is the primary and secondary goal. Again, revisiting that. Primary goals, again, are the KPIs you're going to be judged on for these campaigns. That is the leads or the submit lead and the purchases, right? The secondary goal is the lead magnets, initiate checkouts, add to cart, and page view. You need to, again, make sure that the funnel is working correctly and giving that information to both GA4 and to your campaign so it's fully learned. When you have zeros here, that's bad. Another thing I'd be careful of is this guy right here, the conversion value. Conversion values, my friend, should really just be attached to purchases or the submit lead form or the backend CRM data that connects to GA4, either HubSpot or Zapier or whatever. I think it's HubSpot. And it plugs it right back in to make sure that lead is a good lead. And then that's how it ferrets out empty clicks, right? So what I'm saying is that's a conversion value for a submit lead form. That's how you do it. With purchases, it's the whatever the sale is, right? But here you shouldn't be assigning conversion values to add a cart. You shouldn't be assigning conversion values to begin checkout. I see this all the time, and that is wrong. Because when you do a TROAS campaign or conversion value campaign, this campaign's right now set up max conversions, not conversion value or TROAS. But when you go to that TROAS area, how can this TROAS operates on conversion value of purchases? If you enter a conversion value for initiate checkout and add a cart, it's going to be like, oh, your add a cart's making money. Oh, I'm going to put more money. It's a lower conversion than purchase. Therefore, I should put more money there. No. It should be just purchases. So make sure you're checking that too. If you're seeing money here, no, that's wrong, my friends. No. But submit lead form, you should if it's if you're in a lead campaign that's double backing the sale from either CallRails or or your backend CRM data from HubSpot that connects it to gives that particular transaction that credit, and that's how Google optimizes for leads. The next thing I want to talk about here, this is kind of cool. So this is leads. Okay, so what am I saying here? So if you have scenario one, chances are you're warm, right? And you're doing warm and you've done the testing, like I said, GTM preview, GA4 debug, and everything's fine, right? But all of a sudden it stops, right? And this does happen. Like purchase conversions will just stop for no reason. I've seen this a few times. So what does that mean? It means, first of all, make sure it's testing. Okay, you've done that. You've heard me say it 1,000 times. The next thing you need to do is probably take it down one. Look at your ATC. And that's actually where I was going with this is if it's not warm, right? Luckily, this campaign's warm. I'm lucky. But say it's not warm. Say it's cold. It's just started. It's colder than ice. What you want to do then is actually include ATC, even initiate checkout to push those conversions through to purchase. Does that make sense? Because it's cold. Luckily, with this campaign, it's warm. We don't have to do anything. But with this one, it's say if it's just the campaign just started and you're trying to warm it up. So you're warming it up, you have to actually put in add to cart and initiate checkout to make sure that that the conversions are flowing through. Now, here's the next thing. And it's very funny to me because a lot of people forget this part, the landing page. There is so much emphasis from clients and buyers even, where they're just like, oh yeah, I'm just looking at, I'm trying to get this purchase going, and yeah, I have the initiate checkout going, I have the sub ATC going, it's firing correctly, I'm actually concluding those as primary, which you should if it's cold. I get it, you want to get the heartbeat going to get it up, but it's not working. My friends, you got to look at the landing page. So I would say two things. Ask for A/B testing on landing pages. Ask for a couple landing pages. That's the first thing. The next thing you need to look at is your the conversion flow through the landing pages, and that's either through GA4 or like if you have Shopify, they have um, a great conversion flow chart, if you will, or measurement. Well, they'll actually say these are the users that come in. This is how many people initiate checkout. This is how many people add to cart. Between initiate checkout, add to cart, and purchase, there should be no more than 50% drop off. If there is a more than a 50% drop off, say if it's dropping off 80%, 100%, my friends, that's you're getting them there. But for some reason, there's a stopgap. It could be it could be a couple things. It could be the offer is not good enough. There's something wrong with the positioning of it. It could be so many things. I would say at that point, audit the landing page. If you have, help, have somebody else audit the landing page. Find out, again, the offer good enough? Do you need like a video explaining something? It could be so many different things. It could be that you have link outs at the top that people are escaping from, because really what you want for, especially with small businesses for that operate on straight out online stores, you want that funnel to keep going down. So when you have a bunch of links at the top, people escape. They're not buying. So you want them to keep forcing them down and prevent them from escaping. And I know it sounds kind of strange, but that's how you force the purchases through, right? So a lot of times check the landing page, look at the conversion dropout between initiate checkout, add to cart, purchases should not be more than 50%. If it is, there's a problem. Let's see what else. And then also A/B test your landing pages too. Landing pages it's kind of strange. They came and then all of a sudden, like, it seemed like everything was about the Google ads, but now I'm really bringing the fight back. Like landing pages is like the post click. Like I really don't have, if I can send so much traffic there and get all these initiate checkout add a cart, but if there's some weird arrangement going on that prevents on a cold account that prevents that final purchase, there's a problem. So definitely. I think we're at a point, my friends, where thank you so much for watching this video on primary and secondary conversions. I'm also going to do a video on the Google Marketing Live conference. Another video I'm actually thinking about doing is one on Medium. I'm a big Medium guy. I know I talk about the articles, but I really think there's some interesting pieces there. I think it's a struggle on that. I think having a YouTube channel is your best bet if you're marketing your small business, etc. But there are some opportunities with Medium, I think, that I'd love to show, and I just want to show the metrics. But of course, we're everywhere else. Let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to hearing from everybody. The one thing I'll say is this too: I'm actually working on setting up a once a week or once every 2 weeks almost like a talk show format, like a live format, if you will, where people can call in or have any questions. I do have the capability because I have a Riverside account, so people will be able to ask me questions live, if you will. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think that'll be really fun. So that's really it. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining me, and I hope you learned something today. Thanks.